Nielsen released its FMCG data for 2020 and Q3 update. So on that, Nielsen expects that for the year 2020, we'll be seeing a contraction in the FMCG sector, and the contraction will be at -3%. Earlier, they were expecting -1%. So they think it'll be a fairly, some slight bit of contraction coming in from the FMCG space. But talking about the Q3, when we talk about FMCG, they said that FMCG grew by around 1.6% on a year-on-year basis, and they said that all the segments have shown growth in Q3. So surely we are seeing recovery, is what we can understand from the from Nielsen's FMCG data report, which they released yesterday. Moving on to personal and home care segment, the company said that they've seen good recovery coming in over here. And talking about urban as well as semi-urban markets, they said that that continued to drive the growth for the FMCG sector, as well as rural growth has been on a perfect growth trajectory line, which they've been seeing in the last couple of quarters, and has continued to witness strong double-digit growth. So rural grew at around 10.6% in Q3 current year, Q3 20 numbers. So that is the current year 20 numbers which we're seeing in the Q3 in rural India was a double-digit growth. Now, what has led to that growth? Obviously, we know that government stimulus, rural employment, as well as agriculture impetus and boost which are given by the government is surely boosting the overall rural sentiment as well. Now, packaged staples and hygiene categories, a very good point coming out here is that there has also seen a very good growth in rural India. So that is normally where you would say that packaged food is mainly used in urban area. Now that trend has also shifted in rural areas, and we're seeing a good growth over there in rural areas for packaged food, staples, hygienes, and all those categories which are normally called as urban now are also quite good in rural area, and we're seeing a very good growth coming in over there, and that is what the Nielsen data is also pointing out. Talking about the channels, the trade channels, now share for e-commerce has obviously seen an increase. Last 3 quarters have seen a very good growth for e-commerce. So it's up, e-commerce share is up from 2.5% to 3.1% in the last 3 quarters, while modern trade obviously continues to be a bit slow and is still playing catch up to overall e-commerce. And obviously this quarter also they missed out the big day sale, modern trade, so that is something that overall impacted modern trade channels, but all in all they are playing catch up. Now, other interesting point that they did come out in Nielsen's report was that small manufacturers are driving the growth, while large as well as medium manufacturers are still playing catch up, and they're still catching up to the growth that the small manufacturers have seen. So all in all, despite that the company expects a contraction in overall the FMCG space, but this quarter they are seeing the growth of around 1.6%, and we are surely seeing recovery led by the rural areas this time.